changed
Just
our
soon.
splash screen too, so we're not using that Call of Cthulhu thing anymore.
I think I saw, because mine does like a premiering thing and it looked different.
Yeah, I think the premiering thing is maybe a built-in deal. But the I had a animated Call of Cthulhu stream
Oh.
starting soon thing, but I changed it to a static thing. We're saying right now, but they can still hear us with any luck.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
You just
Nah,
froze. As soon as you said now, you froze.
you roboed.
I roboed.
Uh,
Ow.
Let's see.
Mow, mow.
Let's see this new thing. Oh, I see.
Yeah, it just says we'll begin soon, so it's no big deal.
You know they can hear us.
Yep.
All right.
Yep. Got about 2.5 minutes here, and we'll be good to go.
We're good to go in 2.5 minutes.
Like I
YouTube.
said on Twitter, like the one
tubs.
one good thing about being sick is I'm catching up on all my Shudder viewing.
Oh, yeah.
So tonight I actually had a different recommendo, and then at the last minute I was like, nope, I saw this other thing. It's awesome. So I changed it.
Who'd you say that to, the cat?
Just to myself, because, once you're high on drugs.
He's in the mirror. I love my mom. I
medicine.
love my aunts. I love my toys.
I'm high on life. And Dayquil.
I love my Shudder.
Mostly life.
I'm high on crack.
Woohoo.
I mean,
You'd be low on crack, really. If you
I tried to get high on life and that didn't work, so now I'm just using glue.
It never works, dude. It's just the worst. Life is
Picked
the
the
worst.
wrong day to stop sniffing glue.
Yeah, really.
Well,
The bright side, why I have a sore throat, my voice is scratchy. I'm debating about recording a movie trailer for us.
In a world
Yeah, I do that voice
world.
really well when I have like a really sore, scratchy throat.
where Matt has no voice.
In a world.
Matt has no underpants.
I never have underpants.
right?
That's my secret. You want to know my
yeah.
secret cap? I'm never wearing underpants. Wait,
But you've got overpants, and that's weird.
Wait, I thought it was actually a rule not to wear any pants.
Mm-hmm.
oh,
yeah, it is. We're
None of
kicking
us
Matt
ever wear
out.
pants.
All I see is the shirt. I just, I thought it was a relaxed setting.
Yeah, it makes it easier to handle.
Uh-huh.
That's why I'm not wearing my body right now. Just my head.
In a world where nobody wears pants.
What a world. What a world.
Then what?
The government has gone too far. They banned pants.
Question mark?
In a world where the government has banned the wearing of pants.
Okay.
That's
Sounds
enough
nice.
out of you, dude.
That sounds nice.
7:30. I'm transitioning.
Gross.
Oh,
I'm there. All right. Studio mode. And we're ready to get this thing rolling.
oh yeah.
Not that thing.
Too bad.
Thanks, YouTube. Sorry in advance.
All right, guys. Let's finish up this chapter. What do you say?
Gross.
I
I
don't
mean,
know.
yes,
I'm scared.
I am too.
Well, good. I hope this will scare you further. Here we go. Welcome to the Lovecraft tapes. I am Jeremy, your keeper of arcane lore, and we play Call of Cthulhu, a horror role-playing game based upon the
I'll take two.
There's the cold medicine kicking in.
And to buy a vowel?
And we play Call of Cthulhu, a horror role-playing game based upon the fantastical fiction of H.P. Lovecraft. Your investigators of the unknown are Brian as Jack Williams,
I'm starting to like them apples.
Gabe as Roy McDonough,
I'm the one who gave him them apples.
and Matt as Rocky Whiteside.
Well, sucks to suck, I guess.
That wasn't apple related.
With special guest Zach as Carl Kolchak Jr.
I'm guessing I think I'm the second longest living character in the show.
Yes, or at least the most consistent, right?
Uh-oh. Now Matt's mad.
Oh, don't get mad.
Sorry,
Get even.
I'm going to take my mic and go home.
All right. Well, let's begin tonight by firing up the resonator to check for any new letters from beyond. That sounds like a dog. I don't know. And we actually have a few letters from you tonight, so that's nice.
Oh, nice.
Yes. On Facebook, Casey Little says, finally got caught up today and enjoying the body swap dynamic. I love listening to this at work to make it more enjoyable. Keep up the good work and fun times.
So make the podcast more enjoyable or make
Or
the work more
more
enjoyable?
Yeah. I had the same question.
I love listening to this at work and make it more enjoyable.
I guess.
I guess I could put that inflection on there. I took it the positive way, but
Yes.
Thank you, Casey. Appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you.
Look at this the positive way.
I like to take this as the suppository way. On YouTube, Frankie Rivera says, I've been listening to your podcasts all last week up to this episode, number 33, Hell House. I remembered you guys have all the links, figured I'd check you out on YouTube. You guys are way older than I pictured. I was thinking 20-year-olds with a late 20s storyteller.
Mentally, yes.
I thought we were all like 13 mentally.
That's underage, Matt.
Yeah, that's sick.
Come on.
There are laws, buddy.
Come on.
You don't live in the Vatican?
And finally, on Podbean, just about a couple hours ago, we got something from Darth Yagi, who says...
Is this the one you warned us about?
No, that previous one was. Darth Yagi says, I absolutely love Roy's family life.
Aww.
I don't.
Roy hates it.
Yes, but how does Gabe feel about it?
Well, Gabe likes it. It's a good time, but we don't care about him.
Fuck that Gabe guy.
Screw that guy.
I don't think you can do that either.
I'm 20. He can.
Yeah.
There you go. So you actually fit the bill.
I'm what the guy thought we were.
Yeah. You're the target market.
Matt is too.
He's mad.
Yeah,
I don't want to be associated with him.
Damn millennials ruining everything.
That fella.
Exactly. Pretty soon,
All right, let's get on it.
Gabe's going to be out talking against the climate change and everything, and just blaming NATO or
It's
whatever.
a Chinese hoax to ruin our economy.
Blaming Nate Dogg for the climate change? Wait,
Nate
did I hear
Dogg.
that wrong?
Nate Dogg?
These damn old ears, I can't hear anything.
All right. Before we begin, we need to take a quick commercial break.
Forgot about that.
Uh-oh.
Roll your D1000s.
It's over
Gabe with 46.
9,000.
Brian with 100. Guess you're in.
Da-da-da-da.
I'm always in.
You're in for... Yeah, get those hundreds out of the way.
And I got 1,000.
I'll beat your ass.
Wait. Are we not going to talk about how unlikely that is?
He did roll a 92, so he's good. So it's going to be Zach and Brian. Take it away.
I don't have anything ready.
That's why it's called ad lib, buddy.
No.
What? That's the hardest fumble ever rolled.
I know. So, Zach,
Hey, what's up?
you have any commercials this week?
Let me tell you about an instant offer. I found a website that'll actually sell commercials when you're not prepared to do a commercial.
Oh, really? Let me type that in.
It's called commercialswhenyournotprepared.com.
.org.edu.
Well, only when you're doing it on AOL.
Oh, yes. Yeah. I've got
You got what?
nothing.
Oh,
So what else about this that they give you? You just plug in like a topic and it gives you a commercial, or
no topics. They tell you what they want you to sell. So anything from basically, well, they do have categories. So anything that you want to buy,
Amateur.
anything that you're going to put in your mouth, whether it be butter, roots,
flex tape.
flex.
Oh, he froze.
Damn it!
Brian.
Flex tape.
The bot froze again.
You fucking lost it with the flex tape
Ukrainian
there.
bots. Dang it.
The bot that we're using to promote our Patreon.
Right.
He is a Patreon. I swear.
Mr. Black.
I'll take 2 of those. That sounds great.
I will have to pause.
Do
here.
we
We're
just
probably
do
gonna
we
lose
wait?
him.
Oh, he's back.
Yeah, he's back.
No, he's not.
Well, he's
The
not back.
squares are back though.
The dancing squares.
I hate them.
All right, there he is.
Am I the only one that froze?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sorry, you guys were all frozen. I'm like, hey, we must all be having.
Is Audacity okay still?
Should be. Let me just double check. Yep, still running.
Awesome, cool. So keep on going, Brian. You said something about flex tape was the last thing.
Flex tape heard you and did not
Yeah.
like it. Therefore, they shut you down.
So yeah, the great site. So anytime you need to do a commercial spot but don't have a commercial ready, you should be able to go there.
All right. Well, I'll take 2.
It's either 1 or 3, not 2.
God damn it. How much is it for 3?
Your soul,
Okay.
or your best friend's soul.
I'll take 6 then. Wait, how many friends do I have?
I thought you only had 1.
3. I'll just take 3.
And he's a relative of yours, so it doesn't really count.
That's true. Yeah, families,
The worst.
they don't count at all. That's why I use flex tape.
Flex tape. You do have a disturbing amount of things that you like to put in your mouth, just saying. But these commercials will find anything and give them to you that go towards that topic.
Oh, that sounds great. I love the gag orders.
Because they go in your mouth.
All gags come in like a dozen at a time. You can't.
Oh,
do
okay.
Baker's
one.
dozen.
Yep.
So 18? I'm not good with numbers.
They call it a Pegger's dozen.
So that's all I got for you. Sorry.
No, that's perfect. I love it. I'm heading there now.
And we're back.
Matt, get your hand out of your pants.
You know, I was interested in it, but I'm just worried that it's not organic, non-GMO, free range. You know, I'm really only into that kind of stuff.
That was too hot for TV, which is why it's on some dumb podcast.
It was also hot for T-shirt.
That's true. Hot
Yeah,
for
the
t-shirt.
Well, who isn't?
I'm hot for t-shirt.
Some really great T-shirts that you can buy on our new TeePublic store.
Yeah, that's true. They have shirts and tees.
Stop promoting things.
Okay.
And this is what happens when podcasts are done when everybody's on NyQuil.
That's true.
Welcome to the NyQuil Craft tape.
Smash that like and subscribe.
It's just how I sound.
Watch me on Twitch, Ixer.
Twixer. Well, you know, products and or services such as those make my blood boil. No, literally. You should totally check the ingredients and warnings on the side before using them.
Boy. Elizabeth?
Now, dear investigators, we continue.
Dear Keeper.
Now, dear investigators, we finish Chapter 9, Leapfrog. Previously on the Lovecraft tapes. The investigators are kind of reunited as the Caldera Branca and the Caldera Preta both slam into shoreline of Horta. I got that. Hang on a second.
Two boats, one dock.
I
Am I
hope
right,
you-
boys?
I hope you capture a certain person's heroic actions that saved one of the main characters. Just saying.
Nice.
No, he talked me out of it. I was gonna do it, but then he was like, I'm an asshole, and I'm not. So now I'm not doing it. He's dying.
Dead.
Okay. The investigators are kind of reunited as the Caldera Branca and Caldera Preta both slam into the shoreline of Horta, wreaking destruction.
Feels so good.
Okay, I'll start that over.
He's got to get through the whole thing before we can make comments, guys.
The investigators are kind of reunited as the Caldera Branca and Caldera Preta both slam into the shoreline of Horta, wreaking destruction and spilling deadly cargo onto the Azor island of Fael. By some miraculous feat of dexterity, Carl manages to save Jack from being crushed by one of the ships as it flounders in the surf, smashing the jetty upon which they stand. Roy and Rocky watch in horror as the undead hordes battle the local citizenry and their gooey doppelgangers seek them out. The cult leader Cygnus shows up with elite assassins just as the cavalry arrives in the form of carpet-bombing jets and an international naval presence. But will they be too late to save our heroes?
Probably.
No, they were all safe.
Sentences.
We're all safe.
Two boats, one dock. Am I right, boys?
Yes, you're correct.
You are in a room. You are in a room with walls constructed of concrete blocks and painted eggshell white. Each of you is seated in a heavy, uncomfortable stainless steel chair that has been bolted to the poured concrete floor. Your ankles are fastened to the feet of the chair with iron chains and manacles. The chain extends up to the handcuffs encircling your wrists and then to a stout ring set in a metal table. Your compatriots are seated at the table with you to either side. You are each wearing orange jumpsuits. Across the table is a single empty chair. Behind that is a large mirror that nearly encompasses the far wall. You see your reflections looking back at you, almost mockingly. Jack, it is disconcerting to say the least to see yourself in Dan Williams's body. You scratch your nose, shake your head, watch as the blonde-tipped hair sways with every move your reflection makes. To your right is Carl, the bruises on his face already yellowing, and his eyes lively. Declan is seated next to him, staring intently as if he can see someone behind the two-way mirror. At the end of your motley crew is, well, you. Only whoever is inside your body hasn't treated it very well. Your face looks as though someone gave it a good whack with a baseball bat, then lit it on fire. You sigh, wondering who's going to come through that door next, and whether or not you even have the energy to answer any more queries. Carl, never in a million years would you have guessed that trying to track down a fish cult would lead to getting tangled up in a doomsday plot. Well, okay, maybe it crossed your mind, yes. But all this body swapping stuff? Nope, that came out of the blue, although you pride yourself on keeping cool about it. Must have been all those movies you watched. From Freaky Friday to Like Father, Like Son, to Vice Versa, to Freaky Friday, to Wish Upon a Star, to The Hot Chick, to Freaky Friday, to The Change Up, to The Swap, to Freaky Friday. Well, that's a lot of body swap movies. Now you're cooling your heels with Jack or Dan or whoever he is, and a couple other sullen prisoners, one of whom looks as though he's been beaten worse than you. Nothing left to do but wait and see who else might show up to further interrogate you.
Can I just add, there's a really good episode of Farscape and Stargate SG-1 that do that as well.
I know there was, but I had to. Yeah. I stuck to movies, by the way.
Yeah.
There's not enough love for Stargate SG-1.
And there's way more, too, but I just had to.
Or Farscape.
I can't believe there's 4 Freaky
By the way, I have General Jumper's signature on the episode that he was in.
Nice.
Chief of Staff of the Air Force, yep.
Nice.
Anyway, sorry.
Yep. Roy. Declan's body itches, and it smells funny. Not that your body didn't smell funny, but it was a different kind of funny. Your own brand of funny. Plus, it just feels weird to go to the bathroom and have it be someone else's penis in your hand. You wonder if Greta will feel the same way. Nah, no use thinking about that now. There's someone behind that mirror, you just know it. Someone watching, judging. Maybe they knew about all those times you drew your gun at the drop of a hat. Shot phones out of people's hands. Maybe not. Maybe they're already aware of which kid you sacrificed in that terrible, terrible game show. And maybe, just maybe, they were watching as you turned tail and ran away from Rocky as he was being eaten alive by Goo Rocky. Ah, well. If there's anything you've learned from rooms such as this, someone is bound to be along any minute to ask yet more stupid questions. Rocky. This sucks. Despite the strong painkillers your captors gave you only hours before, the throbbing sensation in your head will not go away. The reflection of your borrowed face is like a nightmare mask of old scars painted with purple bruises and deformed with swollen tissue. But you should see the other guy, you think, and then try not to smile at the joke because that hurts even worse, and it highlights the sunken, burnt appearance of your lips and mouth. At least you can still talk, and that's a small blessing. Though with all the probing this organization has done since you've been here, you're beginning to wish your voice had been left back there on the decimated docks of Horta after all. Almost on cue, the windowless door through which you entered 15 minutes ago opens again. A dark-haired woman, tall and lanky, in her early 30s, strides in and the door seals shut behind her. She does not look at you as she takes her seat at the empty chair, back to the mirror. Instead, she busies with setting out a series of 4 folders side by side, arranging the contents and peering intently at handwritten notes. A badge hangs from the pocket of a stylish black suit, identifying the woman as R.J. LaGrasse. You do not recognize the logo next to her name, which resembles a series of intersecting hexagons encircling the letters DGSA. She clears her throat, fishes a pair of wire-rimmed glasses from her inside jacket pocket, along with a white handkerchief, polishes the lenses, then puts on the spectacles, pushing them up the bridge of her nose with one finger, before donning a half-smile that is meant to be friendly, but looks merely perfunctory. Her eyes are pale blue, uninterested. You get the distinct impression she just wants to dot some I's, cross some T's, and file this away in a cardboard box several stories below a government building, never to see the light of day. First of all, gentlemen, we want to thank you for your cooperation in our efforts to understand the events that took place October 31st in Horta. Each of you has given testimony to one of my team members, but there are conflicting details between your stories, and it is my hope that by bringing you here together in one room this morning, that we can iron out those inconsistencies. Now,
That doesn't sound like a good idea.
Well, trust me, it is. Now, if you don't mind, I'd like to start with, well, you, sir, Roy. You were on
Shoot your shot.
You were on the west side of the docks, away from most of the actions, it seems. What happened over there?
Well, I don't know. I was, not talking to the government about what happened while I was there.
Mm-hmm.
And, I think that's just the best way for me to be.
Oh.
Not cooperating.
Well, I saw you'd already given some statements to some of my team members here. Something about cultists. I don't know.
That doesn't sound like something I would do. It sounds like something that some guy who runs the show when I'm not playing Roy would do.
Yes, I understand that you were pretty reluctant to talk to them until they gave you a Baby Ruth candy bar, and then you just kind of spilled your guts.
Well, maybe the same treatment could happen here.
You don't want to know what Roy would do for a Klondike bar.
Well,
Maybe
I just happen to have a Baby Ruth right here, and she pulls one out of her pocket and slides it across the table. Maybe when we're done, we can uncuff you and.
Ooh.
And I'll slam my face onto the Baby Ruth and eat it wrapper and all.
And it tastes delicious.
Mm.
All right. So that idiot Rocky got himself caught because he's an idiot. And I had this sudden pang where I remembered that time that he pulled my pants down in front of Ruth, which is, I had a childhood crush on this girl, Ruth Bernard, and since then every time I hear about Baby Ruth bars, it just brings me back. So there's a little backstory on that for you.
Thank you.
And she laughed at me. And she was like, haha, you're funny. We should hang out sometime, Roy. And I was like, shut up. You're just making fun of me. Get away from me. And then we never talked again. So I remembered that. So I started running because I figured, if he could figure it out for himself, I might respect him a little bit. But I knew him. He can't handle it. He's a loser. So I started running, and everything happened so fast. These three cultist guys they came around me while I was abandoning that idiot over there. One was getting a little stabby, and suddenly it's some short guy who was fat also and had this sweet ass mustache started running down the stairs towards me, and he was smiling, so I figured he was happy to see me. but it turned out he was not happy to see me.
You, sir, look as though as you're one of the good guys. And much like sports center odds pickers, Stephen Crumpet always backs the winning team. Catch! And he throws you 2 6-shooters through the air.
Ooh.
Which you catch deftly. They feel good in your hands and look, for all the world, the same as your old trusty 45. He grins even wider and pulls 2 identical guns from his waistband, nodding toward your pursuers and raising an eyebrow. Shall we?
I guess you are happy to see me. We shall.
All right, we're going to enter combat now.
Nice.
So go ahead and pull up your character sheet and let me know what your dexterity is.
I just got to ask,
80.
where were those 6-shooters when we were facing assassins? In the
Right?
Just saying.
Oh yeah, that would have been totally convenient for
Alright.
that situation that I know
Boom, I
everything
can
about.
Pop him out. Put him over here. And then I'm going to pop out.
Working Knights gang, Matt.
All right, got that. I figured out I can pop out the character sheets and put them on my other monitor.
Oh, nice.
So I can have
I
them
have
all.
2 monitors.
I have 3.
Answer.
Shut up.
I have 7.
So I've moved the.
I have M&M coffee flavored.
Yeah. I've got the map set up, and basically you're at the upper right hand side of that.
I see.
Wiener.
He said wiener.
He said ween.
All right, so we
Weenus.
have.
What's the really scary thing under the boat?
So we have Stephen Crumpet at 75.
I
We
have
don't talk
80.
about what's under the boat.
All right, so Roy is.
You weren't supposed to scroll down.
That's right. You're getting a little hyper there, buddy.
Oh, sorry.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We'll get to that in short order here.
It's okay. We all know we live.
Roy, or actually Declan.
This could be
What are
a
you talking
dream.
about, man. I always zoom out so I can see the entirety of the map at
Steven.
once for tactical purposes.
Yeah.
Then we have each of those guys. The cultists have 45, so you guys will get the drop on them easily.
Makes sense because
Alright.
they didn't know we were going to turn around. And
Yep.
they were ready pursuing us, and our decision to turn around caught them off guard.
Exactly. And so Declan, you've got the Roy, you've got the comm, and you have 2 guns in your hand, each of which holds 6 shots.
Aha.
Pop,
Sorry.
pop, motherfuckers.
Into the air.
Aim for this one.
Get
Feels
And
closer.
yeah, basically this one here is the I can't quite move him out of the grid, but
That's fine.
he's the big guy out in front, and the
The
two,
machete one?
Yep, and the
Alright.
the
The shitty
2
one.
in the back are the female assassins.
Girls, icky. All right.
You can't
I'll
hit
aim
a woman.
for the machete one then because he has a machete.
Alrighty, go ahead and roll.
Do I get both
Alright.
shots?
Well, it's basically you get 1 shot. I think it does up to how many?
10, 1d10 plus 2.
No, it's the
Yeah.
how many shots it can do.
How many attacks you
Oh.
get per round?
Oh,
Do you
one,
have-
1 parentheses 3.
Yeah, so you can take additional ones at a penalty die.
Penalty.
Yeah, but because I have 2, do I get 2 shots without penalty?
No, you
2 guns.
You'd have the second shot as a penalty too. So
Okay, then I'm
you
only
can do
doing
one. You
one
can do
shot.
1 gun with 1 shot at normal, and then the other one, your offhand, would be a penalty dice.
Then I'm not doing 2 shots because I'm not good enough for that. So
Fire both at the same time. The bullets hit each other and ricochet apart.
Because it just dives at the guy, does the full wanted treatment, and bullet curves through the air.
Yeah, the Gabe, the only downside to shooting that second bullet is that you'll
is
lose
you
the
lose
bullet.
bullets.
Yeah.
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 So it's up to you.
Wait, you're telling me if I shoot my gun, I lose a bullet?
Wait,
What the fuck
what?
kind of bullshit is
Whoa,
this?
whoa. Let's start over.
I've been
So-
playing a lot of Borderlands, and in that
They
game, I
both.
don't
How many
reload a whole
bullets
lot.
did you say they both have?
6 each.
All right, for
So you have
some
12
reason
shots.
it's a 7 on mine because someone filled out Declan. That wasn't me.
Well, there might be
One in the clip
one
or
in
one
the
in the
chamber. Does that seem right, guys?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, so
One
we'll
of the
say
Chamber was
7,
such a
then
good
you have
game
14
from
shots then.
Awesome.
Modern
All right.
Warfare
then I
3?
absolutely am taking both shots.
Okay.
I
right,
miss Modern
primary?
Warfare 3. It was a good game.
We're playing a game, Matt.
Roll away.
Pew pew. Oh, did he freeze?
Oh, Gabe, you frozen? They must
Let
be.
it go.
He's
Let
Froyo.
it go.
He's just thinking really hard.
Yeah.
There, I killed everybody. He comes out of it. Everybody died.
Not seeing rolls either. So
No rolls.
Oh.
So I think he
and I
lost
don't
his
see him
internet.
in roll 20. Yeah, I see us 4. I don't
Yep,
see
he
a
lost
fifth
roll
person.
20. Yep. He dropped.
Let it go.
All right. So pausing.
Please hold for technical difficulties.
Right.
In a world where we constantly have technical difficulties.
Have you ever had a hard time coming up with a commercial? Well, there's a website for you.
Have you ever had a hard time
was good.
stalling when somebody gets
good.
disconnected? Well, there's a website for you.
He's back on roll 20.
Out of curiosity, the region on Discord,
Yeah.
is that like a set for like, you know, I know it says US Central. Would it be better if you guys set it to
We
East-
played around with it. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
No.
Okay.
Doesn't seem to, anyways. I know when we tried to switch midstream, it kind of fucked things up.
Yeah, that was not good. He said, hold on, I'm saving it.
Oh,
Aye.
he's saving his
Aye.
Audacity.
No, I don't know what happened.
Okay.
It like attempted to turn off, but because I had things open, it didn't.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, probably just a Windows.
Yeah, you've got mail.
Windows.
It knows. Okay.
Mine took an hour and a half to update today.
I updated it earlier, so I don't know
I
how
know.
I did that.
It's on fine.
But I'm back.
Okay, cool. So go ahead and fire off your
Back
first
again.
round at normal strength.
Normal.
Yep.
This gun sounds funny.
Click, click.
Yeah.
What they don't tell you is that he gave you some 6-shooters that were actually squirt guns.
6 shooters.
There were cap guns.
He was basically
All right.
just an actor.
There we go. So first one failed.
Yep.
Needed a 24, rolled a 57.
You just didn't touch Betty's trigger right.
And then your second one.
Also named Betty.
That's hard.
I succeeded, but then I have to.
You
No.
roll a D10.
What do I?
That's good.
Nice.
All right. So you needed 24. You rolled a 10, and the penalty dice was also a 10. So you did 9 damage to him.
Nice.
Nice.
Shot him
Damn.
basically. Well, you tell me. That was like almost pretty much killed him. He has 1 hit point left, so he has a major wound.
Shot to the heart.
He needs to
And
make a
Gabe's to
constitution
blame.
roll, which I'll do right now.
Declan.
Just gave love.
He succeeded at that, so he's not unconscious. But go ahead and describe that shot for us, Gabe.
You know, I was pissed when I missed the first shot, so I did my anger management and I just hit it as hard as I can right in the stomach.
Oh.
And the bullet indeed just does exit straight out, basically rupturing his spleen and liver.
And hitting the one behind him.
It was that good. It was awesome. If it was a critical, maybe I'd give it.
Yeah, hell yeah, that'd have been cool.
So Steven yells, "Ha ha! Good shot!" and fires off.
Huzzah!
Huzzah! And he's gonna he has the same shooters as you do. So let me copy your shooter real quick here.
Pop, pop.
Hi,
It's
Pop.
bubbles.
pop.
Bubbles come out the end. Oh.
Oh crap!
Pulls the trigger and a little flag comes out and says bang.
Declan.
No, it's bubbles.
It's Bubbles. All right, so Colt 45. Oh yeah.
Colt 45.
Free sound effects created for you here on the Lovecraft tapes.
Handgun is 1d10 plus 2. Wow, that thing kicks ass.
Right.
And it
It's
licks
Colt,
ass.
baby.
Yeah, baby.
Woo.
All right.
Yeah, but it's not a Magnum.
Yeah, but it's not as good as other things.
It's like better as it's like better than a shotgun.
All right.
Right?
Here we go. Boom. So Steven is also going to, he's inspired by you, so he's going to do the same thing. And you need a 20 and rolled an
You better
82,
do the
failed
same
on that. His second shot also went wild, but he's like sort of yelling in triumph, even though his bullets are going haywire. Good old Stephen Crumpet, you know what I'm saying?
Whoopsies.
So then
I don't know who that is.
it's these guys, and so Cygnus is going to perform a somersault, barely alive, and
give that a
basically come up
7.3.
and whop on you. I gotta get Steven on the board here too, don't I?
Oh yeah.
Sorry about that. Gotta have Steven.
gonna
When
go
you
Whoppers
die,
on-
can you play Steven, Matt?
Righto, sir, righto.
And he's pretty pissed at you, so he's going to take a stab at you with a machete. Comes out of his somersault.
As he does, his guts fall out.
You actually can't play
And he's
him.
too weak to do that, so he takes a swing, needed 25, roll a 69. Nice, not so
Fight
nice.
back.
Do I get a
Nice.
fight back because he was so close?
That's true. Yep, go ahead. And what do you want to do for your fight back?
Fight.
Pistol whipping.
Or
Poke
you
him
can
in the
dodge, you know. But
No, I'm not
gotcha.
dodging. He missed. I'm going to try and sideswipe him in the head with the butt of the pistol, which would that just be a brawl?
Yeah.
All right. I didn't succeed, but whatever. I needed 36. I got a 53. That's a failure.
Okay. And so then these gals are going to, the assassins are going to basically do cartwheels over and try to.
It's a circus, people attacking
No, I
us.
have no idea. They're assassins. What do you want? And
You just see dancing Pennywise in the background.
dancing Pennywise. And they're basically just going to try to knock him unconscious.
Some
He
dude
did a
behind him is
25,
default
rolled a
dancing.
13, so they succeeded. He's going to try to fight back, and he'll do the same thing as you. Needed 25, rolled a 92, failed on that. So he's going to take 2 hit points.
You rolled it twice. The
gains 2
first
hit
one he
points.
rolled a 13.
Yeah. So, yep. So actually, Steven is a little woozy.
Okay,
here.
look, he's playing 3 characters at once.
It's all
4.
going to say me, buddy.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize they'd all have the same
Yeah.
25.
They're all named Jeremy.
Yeah. That's right.
Hi,
And the second one tried the same
It
thing.
is a cult
and-
after all.
Exactly. I'm trying to remember
Gary.
what the rules are for fighting back against multiple opponents. I think you only get 1 fight back, don't you?
Yeah, I think you only get to fight once back, or get to fight back once per basically round of combat.
Yep. Okay, that's what I thought too.
Isn't there something on the cheat sheet about being outnumbered?
yeah.
There is actually.
Let's read that.
Let's see
I
what
like
this
that
is.
Steven Toast is Steven Crumpet, by the way.
Don't say
I
that.
thought you only read beneficial rules when it's like we outnumber it now.
Yep. Once he dodges or fight back in a round, all subsequent attacks on them receive 1 bonus die.
Okay, once it is also.
So technically, the second guy gets a bonus die.
Got it. Okay, so I'll take that.
Of course you will.
Yeah, what would I?
Cheater.
Oops, they roll.
He rolled a 12.
D100.
That makes it from a 47 to a
Oops, sorry, I meant to
127.
do a D10. My bad. There we go, 90. So
You meant to
still
do a
failed.
D1000?
Still failed. A T1000? No, that's Arnold Schwarzenegger. So that is the end of the round. So we're going to start at the top of the round. And
All right, here's
you
a
can-
question for you.
Yep.
Can I, since I have 2 guns, can I use one to try and pistol whip Machete Boy right here, and use the other to try and shoot someone with a penalty die, or without a penalty die, because it's the first shot I'm taking?
Yeah, well, I'd say that's fine. I would say, yeah, why not? Why not?
Cool. I'll try and pistol whip Machete Boy because he's presumably only has 1 health left, because I think that's what you said, but I don't care.
He's like, don't hit me. I've got 1 health left.
Time out.
Curse you.
Time out,
And
guys.
can you spend luck in combat?
For fighting?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
I think so, yeah.
All right. Then I rolled a 36. I need a 38. I'm gonna spend the 2 luck
I think
okay.
you just can't push.
Right.
Yeah.
to make it a success. Which I don't know what damage unarmed or what damage
You
would a
should
butt
have
of
an
a pistol
option.
do.
Yeah.
D10?
Sure.
+2.
A lot.
What is he gonna do back?
Well, actually, it's
before?
your pistol whip is D3 actually.
I was gonna say,
Alright.
yeah, you have an
Yeah.
unarmed button on
Unarmed.
your under your weapons.
Yeah, because even that
I didn't know if that counted as unarmed.
even that asp was a D8, which is meant to be a a small bat.
Yeah.
So I'd like either D3 or D6 sounds reasonable.
D3
I think
works.
D6
I got
is good.
3. But doesn't he have
okay.
a chance?
Yeah, he's going to
Yeah.
fight back. And so he'll go ahead and do that. Boom. And he failed.
He fails.
You need 25, roll 41. And you knock him unconscious. He's got blood leaking out of his ears as he falls into the sand.
You put
Drops
your other
like a
pistol under
sack
his
of
chin and pull the trigger.
yesterday's potatoes.
Exactly.
He's a horrible human. Could you just keep beating his ass?
Yeah, please.
Well, I believe
Leave the rest of him
you're gonna
intact.
do
Go for the ass.
A shot now, right?
Yeah, at this one that's closer to
Okay.
me. I did it stupidly again, but I failed anyway. I needed 24. I got 33. I failed, which sucks because it would have been a 12 damage.
But it's an extreme fail, so that's a plus.
Yeah, right.
If he had +2, it would have been an
All
extreme
right.
success.
So you're down to, I think you're out 3 bullets, is it?
Yeah,
You're missing 3 out of your 14.
down
so
to
you're at
11.
All right, Stephen Crumpet is next, and he's going to attempt basically the same thing on these people. So he'll go ahead and fire a shot at cultist number 2. Needed a 20 and rolled a 30. Failed.
Steven, spend the luck.
Let's see what he has for luck here. He's got quite a lot of luck, actually.
90.
He could do that. Yeah, why not?
Oh,
Yes.
gracious.
Why not, Stephen? He'll go ahead and
Spend
spend
the luck.
he'll spend 10 luck to make that a success, and he does 8 points of damage, and cultist number 3 hits the ground.
Nice.
So that one's gone. We'll get rid
In
of
one
that.
ear, out the other.
And then since he's having such a good time, he's going to, and actually she gets a fight back, doesn't she?
I thought.
Yes, her brains are splattered out the back.
Well, if she gets a better success than he does, then
No, you didn't.
all up for them. So cultist number 3 can fight back, and we'll go there, and we'll go there. And nope,
What a dumbass.
didn't work. So Stephen blows the back of the head off of cultist 3, and just yells out, "Ha ha! I'm on fire!"
Fire?
Literally.
Don't talk about fire.
Fire! Gabe shoots his gun again.
And then fires off the second gun, and it goes wild. This would have been a penalty dice anyways. And that cultist gets to fight back.
Ding.
Boink. And needed 25, roll of 41, failed. And now
Everybody
it is
sucks
their
at
turn.
combat.
So we've got, let's see. Cygnus is done. Cultist number 3 is done. So there's only one cultist left on the board. And they're going to attempt to fight Stephen Crumpet. Needed 25, rolled a 48. He's going to fight back with one shot of his gun. And needed a 20, rolled a 33. And you know what? He's going to spend the luck.
Nice.
Because he's got a lot
gonna
of luck.
Burn
So
all
He
of his
isn't a
bodies
real
as
character.
possible.
I have a lot
It
as
is an
well.
NPC, so that would be 13 points. So he's got 76 left. He's fine.
Jeez.
Jesus.
He did have
Christ.
90.
Oh, it gets better. Anyways,
Jesus Christ.
so boom, blows
Jesus
the
Christ.
blows a hole in the cultist 2, who falls to the ground, and then
Steven.
Universe.
that's a very interesting tale, Mr. Arroyo. Arroyo, is it?
Yeah. That's the last time I saw my best friend Steven.
Right. Well, so that's one problem we have with your story. You see, Roy Arroyo looked like this. She selects a photo from one of the folders and slides it toward you. It is you, your body, laid out in a coffin. Special Agent Roy Arroyo of the FBI died weeks ago. You, on the other hand, are clearly alive, but you are also clearly Declan McDonough, arms dealer and wanted man in 6 countries. including the United States.
Yeah, but the other 5 are like garbage countries.
She selects another photo showcasing Declan talking with shady characters on an airstrip, while several crates marked with radiation symbols are being loaded onto a cargo plane. I can see where you might get confused about your identity, Mr. McDonough. One is a well-respected family man, while the other is a criminal on the run. If I were you, I wouldn't want everybody to know my business either. Only, your confusion seems to be contagious. Which brings me to Rocky.
Rocky, she said well-respected. Did you hear that?
Rocky, I see here you were injured in a fall overboard from the Caldera Branca, but managed to get ashore before being attacked. What happened after that?
Well, I presume that you have filed in triplicate the correct paperwork for me to talk further upon these matters. Let's see, that would be Form C31-B, Mark II, A D1114-AB-3, and the Z6X142-C. Otherwise, it's classified, and I'm not allowed to talk about it any further.
Yes, you've already signed those papers. They're right here. I don't know if you remember that, but you did it about an hour ago. Maybe it's the damage to your brain.
Signing and filing are 2 different things,
So,
ma'am.
so why don't you go ahead and tell me what happened? In your own words, of course.
If I must. In a world where I use my own words. Well, everything just happened so fast. Well, you see, there I was attempting to climb up the rubble onto the dock when a less than human version of my own body was attempting to, what I can only describe as suck the life force out of me. And the next minute, there was a rather short, squat, fairly overweight man with a very large and bushy mustache standing over top of me with the strangest of grins.
You, sir, appear to be in dire need of assistance, and Stephen Crumpet never shirks his civic duty. How about you? He kicks the goo monster away and drags Rocky on his feet, slapping a spear gun into his hands. I expect these gooey fishmongers will bleed when skewered. What say you and I test the theory?
I'm not one to question any kind of help I can in a crisis, much less from a fellow countryman.
All right, we are in combat.
You're in the country?
Yeah.
Roy, you're English.
All right, so we're going to go with a couple gooies. Goo Rocky
Oh.
and Goo Roy.
Just to let you know, too, if they're in point blank range, you get a bonus die, and they can't dodge or fight back.
Nice.
Ooh.
All right, so I need Steven back up, don't I?
Steven.
All right, so we need spear guns, don't we?
I was going to say, do you have the weapon info for the spear gun?
I don't. But
How about now?
still no.
Uh-huh.
So let's see. Let's see if I can find it real quick. Firearms clarification.
Spear guns are the same thing as rocket launchers.
That's what. That's my
12v12.
12v12.
1D1000.
Okay. Well, without opening up the keepers.
They don't have a spear gun in the keeper,
No.
but they do have a regular spear. You probably do
Oh, I
like maybe
missed.
full.
It would have been 800 damage, too.
What was
spear
that?
does 1d8,
1d8? I like
Yeah.
that. Let's do 1d8 plus 2. How's that?
roughly the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Idiot.
28 plus 2.
Let's do that.
And is that,
Mine.
I'm assuming that'd be in rifle shotgun category, not handgun. Or is it a small spear gun that's...
Yeah, I'd say let's keep it small. I like that. Handgun's good.
All right.
Which one are you better in?
I'm better in handguns than I am rifle shotgun.
Okay, we'll keep it that then.
Put in
Okay,
rifle
okay.
shotgun then. No. Sucker.
Heavy weapons, definitely heavy weapons.
Definitely heavy weapon. Okay, so basically you've got Goo Roy and Goo Rocky up against you, and looks like Goo Rocky who's the one who's immediately on you, has a cane sword, of all things. And Guroy is wielding a machete. That's nice. Very nice. But you guys have the initiative, and what is your dexterity?
60.
All right. So we have the Goo guys both have 50. So and so Steven actually has a 75, so he's going to go first.
Lovely.
Lovely. Here we go. So he's going to shoot a spear gun at point blank range, which you said they don't get a chance to dodge or fight back, and you get a bonus die?
Yep. If they're in point blank range.
Yep, I would say they are for this round. Basically, the spear guns are going to have one fire off, so and then after that, you're going to have to figure something else out. So here we go. Steven takes.
Yes, Brian, you can go to the bathroom.
No, Steven needs to be moved over on the map.
Oh,
What's that? Oh, that's right. Yeah, we're in a new situation.
Otherwise, point blank range means two different things.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. Boom. Okay. Anyways, so he needed 20. He rolled a 50, but he gets a bonus die. So we'll go ahead and roll D10, and that would make it an 80. So that's not very good. So 50 is the thing. He's just trying to determine if he wants to use his luck, and yeah, why not?
Put a
He's like,
horrible.
we're never going to see this guy again. Why the fuck not?
So he spears Guraki. Actually, Guroy, because you're fighting Guraki. For 7 points.
Don't kill Guroy.
And that, of course, gives him a major wound because it's more than 50% of his thing. So he needs to make a constitution roll. And he rolled a 50. Needed 50, rolled a 96, and he immediately falls unconscious.
And underwater, right?
No, don't rely too much on the map, buddy.
Darn it.
Yeah. And so it is your turn.
I'm going to level the spear gun right in between the eyes of my goo body and say, I know I really hate to break such a beautiful face. I needed a 74. I rolled a 71. That's a success with 4 points of damage.
And that is enough to spear him straight through the heart. And he falls backwards into the water, floating away, sinking, dead.
Nice.
Now, this Stephen Crumpet fellow seems to get around, doesn't he, Mr. Arroyo? Ah, another Arroyo. They do seem to spring up like weeds. And this particular weed is named Rocky. Only we have no record that Roy Arroyo had a brother named Rocky.
Yes, I erased those records on my own. It was a bit of a detriment in my line of work to have any sort of traceable identity where I didn't want it.
Just 11 brothers with similar names.
And no Rocky. Now, what's really puzzling me is you claim to be some non-entity named Rocky Arroyo when you more closely resemble a certain Special Agent Jack Whiteside of the FBI, who's been missing for some time.
I'm not missing.
Our facial scan recognition software can't verify this hypothesis 100% accurately, mostly due to the extensive bone structure damage, but I'd lay money on it. And we wouldn't even have bothered to do the comparison if it had been for the claims of this gentleman. Jack.
You see, this is quite similar to a thing that happened in Siberia once.
Shut up, it's my turn.
Jack, in our notes, I see you claim to have been aboard the Caldera Branca during the aftermath of the crash and presumably watching the action below. What transpired then?
Well, it's going to sound strange, but everything happened so fast.
We're making you pay for that one.
It was intentional, guys.
Now that we caught onto it, it was intentional.
1 minute, I was standing on the deck of the ship next to Carl, looking down as goo versions of Rocky and Roy attacked whoever was trapped in my body. The next minute, a grappling hook hurled in overhead, attached to a steel cable.
Oh, did he freeze?
I didn't freeze. I'm trying to figure this out.
Okay.
Jeremy.
What if we told you about making Brian read?
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't know how to, and it's very cruel to watch him struggle.
Shut up! Attached to steel cable. God damn it! Shut up!
Sober now.
Attached a steel cable to the forecastle mast tower. Grinning like a madman, Stephen Crumpet zips through the air from the direction of the rooftops.
Permission to come aboard, Jack.
No.
He leaps onto the forecastle deck next to you. Hail and well met, Mr. Whiteside. Oh, I forgot to give this to you earlier. He reaches behind and, with a fair bit of grunting and show, pulls out a rocket launcher.
From his behind? Jesus Christ.
Here, never mind the smell. It gets a bit swampy on these islands. I'm sure you understand. Anyway.
Yeah, this is good.
Anyway, I'll give you the 15-second tour. This is your standard issue BFG. Point and shoot for the most part. Watch out for the kick. I've gone to the trouble of preloading 2 anti-tank warheads, so try to keep your aim steady, right? There'll be no third chance to take down the big D. Stephen is, of course, referring to something rising in the ocean waters directly behind the ship, on the verge of swallowing it.
Something's rising.
Oh,
That's the bread I have in the oven.
All right, so Jack,
I don't know what you were thinking, you fucking pervert.
It's the Dark Knight.
we're going to enter into combat.
Okay.
And essentially this is, you're just going to need to make some pretty good rolls to fire Dagon
Fire!
in the mouth.
Can you use just one of those to hit Cygnus one more time?
Yeah, right?
All right, so
Still kill Stephen Crumpet so he can't appear in Zach's flashback.
oh,
But that would derail the whole thing.
And it's
We don't want to do that for
Or
Jeremy.
did Jeremy
cut
already
all that
write it in
out,
mind
so
that
that's good.
Crumpet's already dead because Roy was going to say to kill him?
all right, so
Oh
Jack.
no.
what do I roll, though?
Okay, so basically you're just doing a firearms.
Okay, good.
And you're doing the firearms. So this is going to be. I'm trying to remember what does SMG stand for?
Submachine gun.
Submachine
Submachine
gun.
gun.
Submachine gun.
Yeah, I kind of like. What's your highest one? Well, I'm looking at it right now, so never mind.
Firearms.
Handgun is your
Handgun. Yep.
your highest one.
It's a handheld rocket launcher.
I like the idea of using this as the rifle shotgun. That seems to be more appropriate to me.
Of course.
So basically, you have 2 attempts to do this.
Make it artillery.
I was going to say
Is there artillery?
Demolitions.
Yeah,
there is a
1%
law,
chance.
which is basically
Guys,
a
you're making it worse.
bazooka.
Don't worry,
Grenade
Steve
launcher.
will spend all his luck.
But
I
they're all
have
heavy
13.
Steve,
Yeah,
Steven
spend all of
into
is.
this one. This is all on Jack.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, artillery.
I don't
That
see an
thing's
artillery
big enough
skill.
that any range is
It's a
considered
1%. It's one of the
1%,
bonus
then no.
skills.
What was the other one you said? Demolition, I think.
Yeah.
Handgun.
That's also a 1%. So I think we're good
Handgun.
with the rifle shotgun. So give
Handgun?
a roll, Bri.
Make
Handgun.
it
At what
Rude lips.
size is any range considered point blank range? Just asking. a
Right.
question.
This probably isn't point blank. No.
I'm going to run off the end of the boat with the rocket launcher and jump towards its mouth.
You're
Once I
gonna,
get close enough, I'm going to shoot it.
Are you gonna rocket jump?
rocket jump?
Point blank.
He's gonna aim down at the ground, jump and fire, which is gonna
you
launch
guys
him
ready
up
to-
into the air.
But yeah, and go ahead and please describe what you're doing before you roll
Okay.
for each shot.
As Crumpet explains to me what I have to do with this weapon that he handed me, I turn around and I look and I almost crap my pants.
Because behind you is a
Behind me-
monstrous. I was going to help you out. Sorry, buddy.
Yeah, go.
Behind you is a monstrous, amphibious, scale-covered monstrosity that is easily twice the size of the ship. And you can see right now, you can just see the top half of its head as its elongated body is hurtling towards the shoreline. And you can see that the maw, filled with many sharp, pointy teeth, look at the bones, is widening, and you can just see like the seaweed and the ocean water dripping as it slowly rises.
A whale falls out of its mouth.
From the side of the boat, you just hear, "Oh no, it's Quebec all over again."
I told you guys it was the deep ones.
That's true. He did say that a long time ago.
Yeah.
And that's what you see, Jack.
Okay. I am going to
Aim for the glowing parts.
Drop to
That's
one
when you get a
knee.
critical hit.
and put the rocket launcher up on my shoulder and aim down the sight and fire the rocket backwards into the dock. Damn it! And I sunk the ship further. No,
Damn
I take my shot at its open maw.
Oh.
Thank you for making me change to a different gun.
Aiming
I needed
gives
a
you
25. I rolled a 96. That is a fumble.
Aiming gives you a bonus die. You said you were aiming.
That's true. Go ahead and roll a d10.
We are trying so hard to help you right now.
Hope it gets a 10.
I got a 9.
So a 96 or a 96?
I'd say a 69.
Haha, nice.
Nice.
So your aim is very off, and what happens instead is the
You hit Carl.
anti-personnel device
Bye, Carl.
rushes out of the barrel of the BFG and sort of goes wild. It sort of spins out of control and hits the bridge tower of the ship and just explodes in a shards of metal and glass, and
19 civilians died.
19 civilians died that day.
And I look
Never
out towards
forget.
the destruction, say, there, now I've got a clean shot.
A little bit to the left. It
Little
pulls
bit
to the right,
Way to the
evidently.
left. You're good.
And
You're
you
good.
feel the boat tipping as Dagon begins to swallow the back half of it.
Cool.
And the boat is tipping up towards, so that you would start sliding along the deck towards the mouth.
Take a
Nice
penalty
tap.
die.
You've got one shot left.
It's true. With the worst roll possible. You ready?
Nope.
Everybody
explain-
ready?
Nope. Explain what you're doing.
Everyone
first.
close your eyes.
Well, okay, so the boat
Maybe
is
he'll close his eyes and just pull the trigger.
the boat is tipping up.
Back
I
against
don't
the
know
rail.
what I can do in this situation. I'd like to. The dock is the dock is completely destroyed. Correct?
The jetty.
Sure. In between the two boats.
That's the jetty. Yep.
Okay.
Pretty much. It's sort of
Okay.
crumbled. It's not completely destroyed now.
Okay.
But it's quite a
so
ways down.
What do I see at the? It's the boat in his mouth.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's like chomping down on it. Correct?
Uh huh.
All right. Then
He's
I'm going to
swallowing
take
it.
aim. I'm going to take aim for the closest eyeball that I can see
Uh huh.
of the 6 that he has.
Uh huh.
And
I'm here
going to-
for you, man.
I'm going to aim even better,
Can we give him bardic inspiration? Wait.
and I'm going to fire the rocket at his eyeball. And
From point
fail
blank
miserably.
range.
Nice.
I need a 25. I rolled a 69.
Nice.
Let me roll that bonus die, shall I?
Do it.
Sure.
You got a 69. Don't do
Since I
it.
aimed. A
Oh,
10.
That's
You got
109.
109.
Oh, no.
105.
That's
Oh,
a
no,
0,
100.
right?
That's 19, right?
Yeah, that's a 09.
Oh, is that how it works?
Yeah,
It's 109.
I don't believe
it's
you.
a 0. D10
It's a 0?
are 1s through 0 through
Nice.
9.
So I got a 9.
Yeah.
So it's a 0.
Critical
it's a 9.
success.
That is why it's green. You're right.
All right,
Yep.
go ahead and describe as this personnel device heads
The-
towards.
The rocket, this time I felt a little more prepared. So as the rocket leaves, as the, what is it called? Missile?
The rocket, the missile,
As the rocket leaves the launcher,
warhead.
as my head leaves
I
your,
love those candies.
as I fire the weapon, I felt much more prepared, but it still knocked me onto my back flat. So I scramble quickly to get up to see if I made contact. And the missile enters the first eye into the creature's skull cavity and explodes into a green mist.
And as you sit up, brains. And you're just
But
covered
it's
in
good
head
because
to
it's
toe.
minty.
Right.
Aquafresh. Oh.
Fish cults and elder gods. I don't mind telling you, Jack, that sounds like something out of Lovecraft. What next?
Apes.
Does the Necronomicon pop up in this tale of yours?
Not this time.
Well, I applaud you. I applaud the heroic efforts of you and, again, the ubiquitous Stephen Crumpet. I find all of this hard to swallow. Isn't it?
I can actually
swallow it.
I can vouch for that. I was standing right behind him.
You gotta lubricate your throat.
Start small, work your way up.
Isn't it more likely that you, Dan Williams, went off the deep end when your fiancee Samantha Blaine went missing? Or is she actually missing, Mr. Williams? What do you suppose we'd find if we went digging around the grounds of Blaine Manor? Historical satellite photos show an old well on the property, which is strangely no longer standing. Just rubble now. If we dug deep enough on that site, would we find her body, Mr. Williams? No, that sounds like a piece of fiction from a 2-bit things that go bump in the night writer like Carl. Your version of what happened in Horta is, as I scan here, your version of what happened in Horta is quite a story, Mr. Kolchak. Bit fantastical, but then I've read some of your previous work, and your father's too, of course. It says
And this will make a hell of a story as well.
It says here that you were on deck with Jack when, quote, all hell broke loose. What happened after that?
Well, everything really happened too fast. 1 minute I was standing next to Jack. Jack saved us all, firing that rocket. I was looking back at the local constables, vainly fighting off the hordes. What's that?
You actually never saw that.
Oh, I thought I was standing right next to him.
No, this is a different story. This is Rushman. This is your view of things.
It's a rush, man.
So 1 minute I was standing there on the deck with 1 minute I was standing on the deck of the ship next to Jack, but looking back at the constables vainly fighting off the hordes of undead streaming from the other ship. The next minute, I heard the sound of feet pattering up behind me. I, of course, heroically turned to face this new enemy because that's what I do as a reporter. But instead of the vast enemies that we've been fighting across the entire island, it was actually my old friend Stephen Crumpet on the port side, throwing down a ladder over the edge and grinning like a madman.
The scene's nearly finished, Carl. Stephen nods toward the policemen who are clearly losing the battle. But I reckon they could use a hand from 2 understudies in the wings. Fancy saving the world?
If I must.
He clambers down the rope, then runs up the fallen beacon tower onto the other ship.
Parkour.
And he sort of waves you to follow.
I follow him. I've already run up this thing once, with the 2 ships crashing, so this should be a piece of cake.
Roll for parkour.
So yeah, you clamber down the rope ladder and easily go up the fallen beacon tower, and you find yourself on the deck of that darker version of the ship.
Steven, what are we really doing here?
Well, I said it. We're saving the world, but I can't do it alone.
Look in the darkness after you. I'm right behind you.
Don't worry. I have a secret weapon. And he says, follow me. And immediately darts towards a staircase leading down into the ship.
I definitely follow him.
So he followed
with my camera at the ready.
Nice. So he leads you into a nightmare version of the ship that you had just clambered up into, even though it was in ruins. The other ship was in much better condition. This appears to be the same sort of mirror image of that, but everything is rotted and rusted. There's water in the hallways, hatches which have been torn off the hinges, hanging at askew angles. You see nightmare scenarios within each of these cabins. You see blood streaked on the walls, strange messages scrawled on the ceilings. If only you had a blacklight. Anyways. And before too long, Stephen comes to a set of double doors that are open, and inside you see what is clearly some sort of hospital room. And at the far end of it is a wall that is a completely taken with a mirror. It's composed of a mirror. And around this mirror are strange alien symbols. And they're glowing. You don't recognize the language as anything of this earth.
I do immediately snap a picture, and actually anything that felt disturbing, I actually looked at more through the camera because it separates me from whatever I'm looking at, and snap a picture to keep that separation from reality. But I basically approach slowly and snapping pictures, but keeping it kind of behind Steven.
Nice. And as the two of you approach a little bit closer, just within, say, 30 feet of the mirror, you see the symbols begin to glow with much more
push
intensity.
him in. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. And
I double dog dare you to touch it.
and the mirror begins sort of pulsing with this strange energy. You can feel it in your bones, just sort of vibrating.
I just stop and look like, what the hell is going on here? This shit's real.
Oh, it's quite real, my boy. But don't worry. I have a little gift from Roy. He's a nice enough bloke. And he reaches inside his pocket and pulls out a vial. A little glass stoppered bottle that has the same alien etchings all around it, and which are also pulsing with a strange energy and light.
The vial doesn't look like similar to the ones that we replaced, does it?
It does. It looks exactly the same. It looks very familiar to you. Although you've never seen it pulse or light up or anything like that. And he takes your hand and slaps it into your palm.
I hold it and just kind of look at it like, what am I supposed to do with this?
There's nothing to it. Wind up and bowl your best. Just throw it as hard as you can. Capiche?
I capiche, but I think we were told not to do something with this. Are you sure this is really going to work?
Trust me, my boy. And good luck. I'd have a go, but you know, I'm not really here. And with that, Stephen Crumpet dissipates into a wisp of dust motes, and you're standing alone in the surgical room.
Ruh-roh.
I look down at the vial. I look at where Stephen was. I look at the arch and look at the glowing symbols. At least two of those three things are still here. So sheer dumb luck, I looked down at the camera just to do like one big picture back to see if he was actually standing in front of me when I took a picture of the arch.
He was.
Strange. I will basically bite my my lip, and I don't know if this is gonna work or if this is even real, or maybe I'm already in an insane asylum somewhere, and I'll toss it into the plane.
And at the moment, at the moment the vial touches the mirror, it shatters. You know what,
Mom?
You know what, Carl? Of all these accounts, yours is the most believable, except for the Stephen Crumpet thing, of course. No one's going to buy that. No one's going to buy that he was able to help each of you in different ways at the same time. But no body swapping? You are who you claim to be, and that's a breath of fresh air in this room.
Well, come on,
what do
Miss
you make of
LaGrasse.
these guys, anyways?
Do I look like somebody that would just make up things? Of course I have proof. I'm sure you have my camera still. And I try to twinkle my eye and give her a grin.
She's got nice blue eyes.
Look, I don't blame you for wanting a piece of the glory here. It's true that the supposed zombies all disappeared simultaneously. There's security footage to back that up, or back up that anomaly, although our experts are still combing the footage for potential doctoring of the digital files. And yes, several of the residents on the island reported injuries that would correlate to an attack of some kind. There's no way to prove what you say happened in that ship's hospital, but fine. So you saved the world. Good for you. It'll make for a great think piece back home. No one will believe it. Your reputation precedes you, and I wish you luck overcoming that.
Can I just ask how you all got here so quickly?
We have our ways, of course, but, you know, we are the government.
Well, I'm just going to say, see, I'm so trustworthy. People will believe this story because my editor believed my story and got you here a little bit faster.
Well, it wasn't exactly Tony. That's his name, right? Tony Vincenzo. No,
Yeah.
it was a little certain phone call that was made from Stephen Crumpet's apartment that alerted us, and we thank him for that. But
You're welcome.
and as she's saying this, LaGrasse puts away the photos and notes inside the plain manila folders. She looks neither satisfied nor angry as she stands up and presses a button on a device at her hip. A moment later, 2 armed guards enter. They approach Carl and unlock his restraints.
I mean, since we've wrapped up the story, you know, maybe a coffee or a drink.
Say your goodbyes now, Mr. Kolchak. Your transport is waiting to take you back home, and I highly doubt you'll be seeing these fine gentlemen or myself again anytime soon. And so
Well,
now
Jack,
you have some moments.
You were actually a good friend. I'm glad to have met you. You don't disappear. Your name will be popping up out there. I will be keeping an eye out. Those 2, I'm assuming they're your friends, but yeah.
Tell our story. Tell our story.
Why are we trusting this guy we don't even know?
We're not. We're going to be locked up for life. What do we care?
But the story will get out there. The truth is out there. You can't stop the press.
I want to believe.
Fight the
Copyright.
power. Oh. But yeah, I will go with the guards, and as long as I'm on a plane back to civilization, I'm kind of happy. With my camera and all my other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah.
With pictures on the camera.
Well, we can talk about that later.
He's in the picture. He's not in the picture. He's in the picture. He's not in the picture.
LaGrasse
stop
watches as the 2 guards escort Carl away, then closes the door again. Without a word, she returns to her seat and stares at the 3 of you with unexpected intensity. I hope you don't mind the ruse. It was for Mr. Kolchak's benefit. Can't have a writer of his caliber getting too close to the truth now, can we? She turns slowly to look over her shoulder at the mirror. Behind the 2-way glass, a soft emerald glow illuminates a soft emerald glow illuminates another room beyond. 2 figures stand, watching, the familiar outlines of their bodies at once comforting and unsettling. To the left is Assistant Director Akeley, his strange, waxen face alien and impassive. Next to him is the corpse of Roy Arroyo. Dead flesh tinged bluish-gray, glassy eyes unblinking, mouth stitched closed. As you watch in horror, the reanimated body reaches up with a pair of surgical scissors and proceeds to snip the catgut that binds its lips together. Its mouth opens wide, and you hear the crack of stiffened tendon as white cotton balls spill from the freshly opened aperture.
Sports Center.
With some effort, the throat muscles contract, and you hear a ghastly whisper. "Aye, sir." LaGrasse turns back to you with a self-satisfied grin. "Welcome to Delta Green, gentlemen." And that's where we're
Why
going.
does Declan get a much handsomer body than I do?
It's all dead and decayed.
Now's my only chance I'll ever have to make out with myself.
No, you'll still have a chance.
There's always
Yep.
a chance.
Oh yeah.
All right, that's it, guys. Thoughts,
Necrophilia?
theories?
Damn.
The rabbit hole just keeps on going.
Yeah.
Follow the rabbit.
Huh? I don't even know where to start or where to finish.
I'm gonna beat the crap out of Declan and steal my body back.
You're gonna beat the crap out of yourself?
I already
If I
beat
can
the crap,
beat the
out
crap
of
out of myself, am I weak or am I strong?
Right?
Well, as Roy McDonough, you're pretty strong.
Does that mean that Declan is Declan Arroyo?
Yeah.
That's not even possible. We need
It's
to
not
change his name.
possible. Redeclan.
It's Recklin Arroyo.
Recklin Arroyo.
Rectum Arroyo.
Damn
near
near
hell,
killed
killed
him.
Oh.
Oh man, it's going to be interesting what happens next time
I want my
on
body back. This
the
one's ugly.
Lovecraft tapes.
Bye.
Let's get high.
Matt,
Bye. Have
no
a
more
beautiful
butt chugging
time.
Dayquil.
Fine, I'm gonna go butt chug some
Actually, that's
NyQuil.
gonna
It's gonna be
burn.
even
Butt
more
chug a
fun.
Dayquil, yeah. All right, guys. Well, let's hop into some hashtag recommendos. Please roll D1 Hondo.
Boing.
Boing. Oh.
Can we roll D1000s this time?
D1000. Well, we're rolling pretty. Zach really wants to go first. That's better. All right, so we're gonna start off with Matt, then Gabe, then me, then Brian, and Zach. So start us off, Matt.
So for the final recommendo of this chapter, I have something very fun, very unique, and very much worth your time. It's an indie game called Untitled Goose Game by House Studios. So Untitled Goose Game it's kind of like a slapstick stealth sandbox game where you get to play a goose that has been unleashed on an unsuspecting little village. And the game is, I guess you could call it kind of part puzzle game too. So you get introduced to a small area and they give you a list of things you have to do in that area, which can include stealing things from people, ruining people's stuff. Could have to, scare people. You can have to, hide things from them. And the whole game is just a series of to-do lists and puzzles in small areas, all centered around the fact that you are a goose and you just get to be a complete and total ass to everybody.
As they
And
are.
It is fucking hilarious and so much fun. Like there's one of the areas, one of your tasks is scaring a kid into the point where he locks himself into a phone booth. So you kind of have to run at this kid and at the same time like honk at him. You have a dedicated honk button, by the way, which is something unto itself. So you run at this kid flapping your wings and honking until you can herd him into a telephone booth where he immediately locks himself inside and calls I'm assuming one of his parents who is working next door in an electronic shop. So he comes out to chase you away, at which point you can go into that shop and mess with all the TVs, and you hit a button and it turns on a camera, and all of a sudden your goose is all over all these TVs inside this electronic shop. It's amazing, and it's so much fun to just be able to run around and be a total ass to everybody, and you get to screw with them, and it is something else. And it's only $15, and it is somewhat of a short game, but it is totally worth every single one of those $15 I spent on it.
All right.
I want to play it.
Yeah, if you like being an ass, Untitled Goose Game.
Cool. Very
Available on the Epic Store, and I believe it's on Switch as well.
Switch. Okay, thanks, Matt.
Which
Appreciate it, Matt.
I agree with that.
All right, Gabe, you're next.
All right. I'm gonna recommend another board game because I don't know.
I don't give a shit. Whatever you got.
What do you
I
got,
don't like
Georgitis?
recommending the same type of thing 2 weeks in a row, but I will.
That's all right.
It's called Orleans, or as some board game guy tried to tell me, it's called Orleans, but it's like New Orleans, but you take the new out and it's Orleans. Shove that Orleans up your ass. It's like a French village sim as a board game where you're basically competing with your you're not really competing. Like I mean, your goal is to have more resources than the other person, but there's no direct competition going on while you're playing. Everything you're doing is going on at the same time, where you're trying to build churches, and what it is you have these workers that you assign to different jobs at every round, and as they're assigned to that job, you build churches, and that can give you more resources, and you can assign them to the wagon, go to different trading outposts. So along the road, you pick up new materials like wheat and food and stuff. And basically, your goal is over, I think it's 9 rounds, to do the most building, get the most workers, the most resources, and the most knowledge. So at the end, you add them all up and compare what the other people are doing, and whoever has the most, it wins. And there's like different amounts that everything's worth. So there's some things you should prioritize over other things, and it's just a lot of fun. And it's, I will say it says 2 to 4 players. I've played it alone, and it's just as fun alone. I mean, you're not comparing. The only difference is you're trying to beat your own scores versus the other people.
Oh, cool.
So that's Orleans. It's a lot of fun. It takes a lot of time. So it might not be for everyone. It takes about an hour and a half to play, but if you have the time, it's a lot of fun, even just to play with people and try and like best their strategies.
Cool.
Yeah,
that's Orleans or Orleans.
Yeah. Nice, thank you, Gabe. We'll check that out.
New Orleans.
New Orleans.
There's no new.
I know.
They have new expansion. Orleans.
See.
All right. My recommendo for tonight is a movie called One Cut of the Dead from 2017 and from Japan. Writer, director, editor Shinichiro Ueda, starring Takayuki Hamatsu, Yuzuki Akiyama, Kazuki Nagaya. I got that funked up. Kazuaki Nagaya, Harumi Shuham, and Mao. Mao. Just
Chairman.
Mao. Yeah, and it's actually, I think, Mao playing Mao, which is really nice.
Excuse me?
That wasn't me.
Someone's small penis is going off in the background. I apologize.
Stairs.
All right. The first 30 minutes of this movie is a zombie story of sorts, all shot in one continuous take. At first, it seems like it's just a low-budget indie shocker, but then we jump back in time to 1 month before the production. What unfolds is a hilarious and heartfelt traditional narrative about the ragtag cast and crew who are tasked with shooting an impossible script. I won't spoil any of the fun twists, but I will say that this is a must-see for anyone who loves film and filmmaking, and I urge you to go in blind without reading any in-depth reviews. I did, and like many non-Hollywood indie films, this one traverses different genres without fear, and it surprised me to laughter and tears.
Oh.
It is available on Shudder, and it's probably one of the most surprising. There was a lot of hype for this movie from the horror community because it did so well on the festival circuit, and Shudder took great care by acquiring distribution, and this is a Shudder exclusive. And I've been waiting for over a year to see this because it was just, the word of mouth was so great, and I was so nervous that it wouldn't live up to the hype, but it completely does. So I highly recommend One Cut of the Dead. Don't read anything about it, just go watch it.
It's no cabin fever.
It's no cabin fever, yeah. All right, I believe, is it Brian next?
It is Brian next. I'll go get him.
Get that bastard. Get him over here.
Mine is a YouTube channel, and I stumbled across this. It's a huge channel that I just had never heard of. It's called Funhouse, and it reminds me of everybody here. When we are playing this game, or we're playing any other game together as a group, our sense of humor is
party hack
fire. Yes, exactly. Our sense of humor is firing off, and we're playing off each other, and it's a great time. It's a group of friends that started a YouTube channel playing games in one room, one camera, everybody sitting in different seats with their own microphones in front of their faces, and they're either playing with their each controllers, or they'll play until one dies and pass the controller. So it's like couch gaming with all your friends. But they are freaking hilarious. And they've developed this channel into subcategories. They read all of their, like what we do, our feedback and reviews. They go on and they do that all, reading it on YouTube Live, and their reactions are priceless, and they don't cut out anything. So I don't know how they get sponsors, to be honest with you, because they talk about everything. Definitely check it out. It's Funhouse. They're really funny. They cover all types of games. The one I'm hooked on now, the sub channel I'm hooked on now is it's called Demo Disc. They take an old game. They have a file cabinet just full of discs from like Windows 98, and they'll pull a disc out, and whatever it is, they'll try to run it in their computer, and if they can, they will play that game until they get sick of it. And then they'll switch to another game. But it's a great time. Funhouse on YouTube. They've got like 9 million episodes, so check them out.
Cool. Will do. And finally, Zach, you get the last word, buddy.
Yeah.
Awesome. As my recommendo, I'm going to give recommend to why I couldn't play last weekend. I think it was. Went to Mystery Science Theater 3000 live. The current tour is the Great Cheesy Movie Circus Tour. I had the pleasure of watching No Retreat, No Surrender, which is Van Damme's first movie, and it was absolutely horrible. And he's not the main actor in it either, so it was just a horrible movie. But it was awesome. Joel Hodgins this is his last tour with the show, and actually the live interaction, just like on the original show with the bits on the Satellite Love, still was right there. They did Satellite Love bits. They had a new Mad to be the bad guy, but it also gives a nod of Joel's last tour and wraps up his storyline too. So highly encourage going and seeing it. I just checked; they have shows out until March.
Nice.
And it's all over the place. It seems like Midwest and East Coast. So a few out west, but in multiple places. So they'll jump into one state, and like 2 months later, they go back to that state. So I'm actually going to try again catching it in March, because they're actually doing 2 different movies: No Retreat, No Surrender, and Circus of Horrors.
Nice.
So it was really cool. I don't know if it's at every venue, but you can actually buy a VIP position to meet Joel and the cast, get autographs, get pictures, do question and answer session. I did not do that the first time. I really intend to do it the last time, because second to last showing will be right up here in PA, so just down the street. So highly encourage, go out to their website, mst3klive.com, and it shows all of the events, and you can buy the tickets right there wherever the venue is. So if you're a Mystery Science Theater fan, I mean, Joel was the original creator in '88, which is scary to think. I think some of us might not have even been like allowed to watch TV then. I'm looking at our young man. But please watch it. They're just as funny, even though that they're as old as us. So that's my recommendo.
Nice.
One of my favorite shows ever.
Yes.
Yeah.
And such a great set of writers to come up with all that joking. Even watching the riff tracks and the what was the other one? The Great Titanic.
Cinematic
Vault.
Titanic. Yeah.
Thank you.
But I watched them all, but I do.
Yeah, there's such a great group of people.
Yes.
Nice.
Very funny.
Check that out.
And the funniest part, I will say, going there, I saw people from the ages of, they had to be in their 60s all the way to teenagers.
Oh yeah,
there was it wasn't just one set of niche fans. It was all age groups. So definitely, if you get a chance, go see it.
Cool.
Plus, it keeps supporting future tours.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Cool. All right, well, we'll check that out. But guys, unfortunately, that's going to be it for this episode and this chapter of the Lovecraft tapes. Thank you for listening. Please subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Google Music, Podbean, Spotify, Stitcher, or anywhere you download regular podcasts. If you like what you hear, please leave Brian a review.
Just me.
Meanwhile, You can find us at thelovecrafttapes.com with links to our hashtag recommendos and social media channels, including Facebook, Reddit, YouTube, and our Discord server where you can chat with us in real time, as well as our new TeePublic store.
Yeah.
Baby. You can find me on Twitter at Lovecraft Tapes.
And if anybody wants to share tips on butt chugging Dayquil, I'm on Twitter at The Real Weird Kid.
And if anyone wants to share tips on butt chugging NyQuil, you can find me at Lovecraft Gabe.
And if anybody wants to give me a break because I'm tired of holding both these bottles while they're chugging, you can reach me at Brian Podcast.
You can't reach me anywhere, but I want to just say thank you guys for giving me this opportunity. It's been a hell of a fun time. Thank you for whoever listens. We didn't get any. I'm assuming we didn't get any hate mail. So if
Well,
appreciate
We got
that.
a lot.
Yeah.
Well, that's because of
I've
Roy,
been
not
burning it
because
as
of
I
me.
keep warm in my box under the freeway.
it's been an honor. It was a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah, it's been
It
a
was
good
a lot of
time.
fun.
Appreciate the time.
No, all
We
the
didn't
pleasure
have as
felt
much
was
time
fun.
with you as Brian did, but the time we had was a good time.
I loved
Hey,
it.
We had to have our buddy cop moment.
That's right.
Hopefully, get more moments like that. So, no, seriously,
great.
appreciate everything, guys. It's been a lot of fun.
Thank you. Well, until next time, roll for crumpets.
Butt chug.
Roll
We're
for
going to butt
Jag
chug
on.
some crumpets.
All right, stop the stream.
Don't cross it.